Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are going to talk about a Dragon Heart team that I'm currently using, as you can see in the background, on my free-to-play account. And honestly, this is one of those ones where I dare to say it is a free-to-play friendly team. Now, I'm not at stage 10 hard yet, but, you know, I'll try and push towards that. The problem with stage 10 hard for free-to-play accounts is the fact that the speed, especially of the dragon itself, is really high. Like, the dragon has 245 or 250 speed. I always confuse them because some of these bosses have 245 and some other ones have 250. So because the boss's speed is that high, it becomes a little bit tricky to get a perfect team that works for that with a pretty decent time, because not only does it have that high speed, it also hits pretty hard. Like, that boss hits pretty hard, puts increased attack on itself, and, you know, all the craziness. But the team that I'm using and the stage that I'm farming is stage 6. This one seems and it looks kind of like 100%. I guess maybe if I have some bad RNG happening, like, I don't know, a bad crit at the wrong time without decreased attack, with all that stuff, then yeah, I might fail. But honestly, I've done close to 100 runs already and it's 100%. And like I said, this team is free-to-play friendly team. I can call it a free-to-play friendly team because most of the champions are easier to acquire, and if they're not, such as like Tomb Lord, you can replace them. But the main person, the main champion that's the MVP of this team is actually Gnut. He's just a beast. Like, he brings so many things. He's just a unit. That's why some people call him G-Unit. He's just such a unit on his own that it kind of makes enemy max HP viable for the hard mode. Again, because most of the time, you know, enemy max HP hitters, unless it's a creature that has double enemy max HP hits, they only have one hit. So it takes a long time before they come back to that hit and all that. But because Gnut has enemy max HP on his A3 as a 3-hitter, that's like the equivalent of having 3 Heartseekers, and that damage is just like you see, 672,000 damage. So basically, overall, what he does to the boss is, if he gets to do 2 of those enemy max HP hits, the boss is gonna be left with what, 40% HP, because it's kept at 10%. He does 30% per 1 A3. With 2 of them, it's 60% of max HP, and you know, you get the gist of it. If you add the Giant Slayers, the War Master after that, it's just gonna be so much easier. Now, when we talk about the other champions, well, I have Arbiter, which, you know, if you've done your Arbiter missions, you should have Arbiter. But if you don't have Arbiter, just bring a Reviver that brings you some extra utility. You know, somebody that brings either an AoE Revive or a single target Revive that brings you maybe some more tankiness, some more healing, stuff like that. Like, it could be Godseeker and Yuri instead of Arbiter. It can be somebody like Ursula the Mourner, maybe even Jumarsa, but you know, Jumarsa's not the best. She's lacking bringing some other stuff in there. But you know what, like I said, Arbiter, by the time you start pushing hard dungeons, you should have Arbiter, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but that's how I see it. When you start pushing hard dungeons, you should have Arbiter. And my Arbiter's, like I said, just in there to revive, to give some turn meter boost, bring me the increased attack, some healing and all the good stuff. So that's kind of like her support. Her role in this team is as a support. Then after that, I have Razelvarg, which was a previous fusion. So if you're watching this video on, you know, in July 2023, and you've been playing for a while and got yourself Razelvarg, well, he brings a lot. He brings a lot. Honestly, it's mostly the damage that he brings, but also having that leech that helps us heal up, plus the increased speed and increased accuracy just makes him so good for this team. And previously, I had Lissandra in his spot, and Lissandra's good. She's amazing because she slows them down. She controls the waves, but you kind of want them to take a little bit of a turn, because, like, for my team, as an example, I wanted to have a turn because my Tomb Lord brings the poison. So I want the waves to die. But if you don't have Razelvarg, honestly, somebody like a Dragstar could work. He brings Provoke, he brings some decreased attack, HP bar when he gets hit, HP bar when he hits. So, you know, Razelvarg again is replaceable. Then we have the Miscreated Monster. Miscreated Monster is mostly in here for some control on the waves with the AoE stun that he does on the A2, even though that's not 100%, you know, it can help, brings a little bit of shield as well. And he's also really useful when I come to the boss part, because he brings that ally protection. That ally protection makes you know, gives me a high chance that I will survive if the boss hits me, especially the first hit, you know, because the way that I have the presets, I'm going to show you, I don't use his ally protection on the second wave, I keep it for the first wave so that I survive the initial hit. If I survive the initial hit from the dragon, I'm good. I'm good because, you know what, I'm gonna land those decreased attacks, I'm gonna land those poisons, any other damage, and I just keep going. So the time that I usually do is between 2 minutes, and as you can see, 2 minutes, 8 seconds to 3 minutes. That's not bad, honestly. That's definitely not bad. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, last one that I didn't talk about is Tomb Lord. Well, honestly, Tomb Lord can be anybody that brings AoE, decreased defense, and decreased attack, maybe some other utility. Like, you could even have somebody like, I don't know, War Maiden, as an example, but you might outgrow the War Maiden, but anybody has a decreased defense, just bring them in a toxic set, as an example. Brings you a little bit of toxic damage to the boss, brings you a little bit of extra damage for the wave, so it can work. Tomb Lord's not mandatory in this team. It's, I mean, honestly, nobody's mandatory, it's just, you know, this is the team that I found with, like I said, at least 3 champions that are free to obtain, or free to play fusions, and, you know, all the good stuff. Maybe instead of Tomb Lord, you know what, instead of Tomb Lord, you can bring an Artak. HP burn, more decreased attack, activation of those HP burns, so this could be really, really awesome. I'm just really happy with this team, and it's honestly all because of Gnut. Ever since I got him, he found a slot in almost every single one of my teams, and I'm going to show in the future what I use him in Fire Knight, what I use him in Spider and all that, but today we're just talking about Dragon. So, the presets, I have him open with the AoE on the first wave, then do not use it. Then on the second wave, I have him prioritizing the AoE, and then on the third wave, I have him prioritizing the enemy max HP hit, because you want this to hit the dragon as much as possible to do as much damage as possible. Then Arbiter, she can do whatever she wants on the waves. On the boss part, I just made her prioritize the revive if she has it ready, because sometimes she has a little bit of a wonky AI, and I'm also making her use this A2, because I have the Gnut lead, that gives me another 80 accuracy, plus the increased attack from Reservoir. I should have the accuracy most of the time, so that when she does the A2, she decreases the increased attack of the dragon by 1/3, you know, if it falls at the right time. But because of the 3rd meter boost that we have and the increased speed from Reservoir, she should rotate enough where she removes it, so that we only get hit once by the boss having the increased attack. Then Tomb Lord, I have him open with a decreased defense and do not use it on the first wave, open then do not use it on the second wave, and then he can do whatever on the boss part. Again, Tomb Lord can be any decreased defense champion that you want that brings you maybe something else, you know, so it's just Tomb Lord I have, Tomb Lord I'm using. Then Miscreated Monster, he opens with a stance and then does not use it on the first wave. On the second wave, open with ally protection if he has it ready, then do not use. And then I let him do the A2 for that extra damage and, you know, bring me the extra stunts. And after that, like I mentioned, I'm saving the ally protection for the boss part. And then on the boss part, I have him not using the A2, which is the AoE stun, just using the ally protection. Because that's all I need him for. And some War Master that he's going to do on the A1. The shields that he gets from the A2 are not going to be big enough because it scales off of the damage that he does. And even though this one's an AoE hit, well, on the boss part there's only one target, so the damage is not going to be too crazy. And then Reservoir, well, Reservoir does whatever he wants because he's a beast anyway and brings some good damage. Now let's have a quick look at the builds that I have on these people. So Tomb Lord is in Regen plus Perception, same thing that I had on him previously. Decent speed so that he goes first, 100% crit rate so that if he crits he lands poisons on the A2, plus if he crits he lands decreased speed on the A1. Does not help us here, but for other areas of the game, you want him to have 100% crit rate, then accuracy, some resist, and then survivability. He's booked, and these are his masteries. If I move myself, maybe you can see them. The usual Giant Slayer, and then down the support tree. Arbiter, she's in, I guess, Arena Masteries, even though I had her with War Master before. I just chose to move her like this because I might change her build in the future. She's running Regen because, like I said, she's my reviver in the team. She needs to be alive, so she needs to be pretty fast and then survivable. Accuracy, I did not go too crazy for the accuracy. I think I only have the accuracy banner, and then after that, the lead from Gnut plus increased accuracy should be enough because we mostly need this one. The weaken, we don't really care because Gnut brings weaken on the A2. Then Reservoir, he's in my clan boss build. He's in Cruel plus Perception, decent speed, 100% crit rate, and then some damage. It's not crazy, like I don't have 6-7k attack, I don't have like 280, 300 crit damage. It's, you know, whatever I can do on my free-to-play account. And then accuracy, again, I don't care too much about accuracy on him because, again, we have Gnut lead, and then we have his increased accuracy from his A3. He's obviously fully booked as well. And then these are the masteries. The reason why I chose to go with War Master on Reservoir is because I use him in more areas where he does the A2 and A3 more often, which are AoE hits, than he does the A1. If I used him where he does his A1 more, then I would go with Giant Slayer because the A1 is a triple hit. Then we have Gnut, which again, Gnut's running Giant Slayer because he has more triple hits. So simple offense and support tree. Then this one is something that if I chose to use him in clan boss as well, I would have to change it. But you know, for now I'm just gonna leave it because I already have my clan boss set, so my clan boss team set, so I don't think I'm gonna bring him in the team anymore. He's more useful for me in dungeons and in Hydra. I run him in a Relentless honestly because you know what, his kit is so good that you kind of want him rotating through his A3, that's the max HP hit, and his A2 is not bad either with the decreased attack and the weaken. Plus the triple hit A1, when you're talking about Fire Knight, you want to get back to the A1 as often as possible. And the stats I have on him, almost 200 speed, 100% crit rate, some defense, some crit damage, and then accuracy. Again, I could even lower maybe his accuracy because if I use him in all of the teams alongside Razelvarg, but when I built him, I did not know the Razelvarg is going to come in my teams. And then the last one is Miscreant Monster. Honestly, he's just random leftover gears. He's like, as you can see, speed, not even 100% crit rate, not even crit capped accuracy. So Miscreant Monster is not perfectly built. I can re-gear him and give him some better stats, but he works like this. Again, he's fully booked, and then these are his masteries with War Master, because War Master helps us when we are facing bosses. But yeah, this is gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing this team. I'm really happy with it, even though it's like, yes, I'm not at stage 10. Stage 6 is still a pretty good spot for me to farm on this account, and I'm really happy that it's a pretty decent time. I usually try to get teams that farm under 3 minutes if possible, otherwise I'm not really happy and I just go down to lower stages. But yeah, thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye guys.